Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, the American Civil Liberties Union has worked to defend and preserve the individual rights and liberties guaranteed by the Constitution and laws of the United States for over 100 years. The union, on behalf of inmates at the St. Thomas jail, is suing over inadequate care and treatment of inmates diagnosed with mental disorders. News 2's reporter Stephanie Brown has more.
At a hearing held at the District Court of the Virgin Islands by presiding Judge Curtis Gomez, the Bureau of Correction worked towards achieving 6 quarterly goals that was established after the American Civil Liberties Union sued the Bureau of Corrections over inadequate care and treatment of inmates diagnosed with mental disorders. Corrections Director Rick Mulgrave spoke further on the measures his department has taken to comply with the consent decree.
The 6 goals that we had this quarter were to conduct a semi-annual impact evaluation was one. We had to develop and implement facility-specific policies, in essence, inmate grievance policy. We had to secure funding for a CCTV system. The 4th goal was to create a mental health audit tool. The 5th goal was to actually take that audit tool and conduct an audit utilizing that audit tool. And the last goal that we had not achieved on time was to review the intake screening policy with the suicide prevention policy.
In testimony provided to Judge Gomez, Virgin Islands health officials stated that they are helping the Bureau of Corrections to comply with the consent decree. In information provided in a press release, the Eldridge Shelterburn facility on St. Thomas will reopen a section to provide adequate care to persons and adjudicated not guilty by reason of insanity, and also plans are in the works for establishing a forensic mental health facility on St. Croix. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
The American Civil Liberties Union attorney agreed in the hearing that progress is being made to provide treatment to inmates because of the collaboration between the Department of Health and the Bureau of Corrections. Count 2 to keep you updated. Virgin Islands Board of Elections released the name of 14 candidates in the special elections. Lloyd Williams, Patrick Sproul, Justin Harrigan, Barbara Peterson, Gustav Dowling, Darian Wheatley, Randolph Thomas, O'Neill Molinar, Robert Max Schanfaber, Stephen Smokey Frett, Janelle Saru, Wilma Marsh Monsanto, Gilmore Estrell Sr., and Alma Francis. They will be participating in the upcoming special elections. The Board of Elections stated that they may need more leeway to provide services to early voters. Virgin Islands Code dictates that voters should be able to cast their votes 14 days prior to an election. Early voting is set to begin on March 25th and run until March 31st, a total of 6 days, which does not comply with Virgin Islands Code that provides votes 14 days to cast a vote. News 2 will keep you updated on this issue. Turning to crime reports, police say on February 27 at approximately 12:22 a.m., 911 emergency call center reported a gunshot victim in the Water Gut area by the Shanty. Here's more.
Upon officers' arrival, contact was made with the individual sitting on a chair just outside Morena's bar who appeared to have gunshot wound to the upper body. Individuals on the scene stated that while they were waiting for their friend, they heard some gunshots. Then a Hispanic male approached them demanding money. The victims gave an undetermined amount of money. The gunshot victim was transported to the Wangaflui Hospital by ambulance for treatment. The VIPD will continue to ask for your assistance making more arrests. Call the Criminal Investigations Bureau at 340-778-2211 in St. Croix, 340-774-2211 on St. Thomas. Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911.
Also on February 24th at approximately 11:20 p.m., a woman reported at the Anselmo Marshall Command Station in Christiansted that she was at her boyfriend's residence with their 1-year-old child. The child fell off the couch and busted his lips. She then requested her boyfriend to take the child to the hospital to seek some medical attention. He became enraged and grabbed her by the throat, squeezed her until she could not breathe, and punched her in the head several times, and then dragged her by the hair across the floor. The victim managed to contact a family member and he left the residence immediately. On February 24th, Chavez Ali, 24 years old, was placed under arrest and charged for assault second degree. Well, we will now have a financial seat at the table of the DNC, and that announcement came from State Chair Donna M. Christensen on Saturday, February 25th. The full body of the Democratic National Committee, the DNC, they adopted a resolution submitted by the VI delegation to include all territories in allotments provided to its members. The resolution was sponsored by National Committeewoman Carol M. Burke. Hailing this as a victory for all Democrats, particularly Virgin Islanders, National Committeewoman Burke said, over the years, the U.S. Virgin Islands, without the right to vote for President of the United States, participated in every aspect of the Democratic National Convention, which included, but not limited to, involvement in local caucuses and selection of delegates to the convention, membership on the standing committees of the convention, and fundraising in the territory for the presidential nominee and congressional candidates. Unlike every state party, she says, the U.S. Virgin Islands and the other territories have never received any funding from the DNC. This now gives us the ability to become a more viable party. And as we reported, the White House and Interior senior officials, they're hosting the territory governors at Interagency Group on Insular Areas, the IGIA. Governor Mapp addressed the great need for increased federal infrastructure investment in the territories. He noted that the population-based formulas that determine the allocation of federal infrastructure investment severely handicap the territory's abilities to develop sustainable economic development and achieve greater financial self-sufficiency. He also called for greater attention on the open borders of the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico and the need for greater investment in securing the territories against potential threats. Officials from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, they provided an update on the department's extensive work in the U.S. territories. Well, this is the start of a huge week on both ends of Pennsylvania Avenue as President Donald Trump gets an opportunity to address Congress head-on after a rocky start, while senators and congressmen get back to work and anxiously await the president's speech. Republican lawmakers back in Washington preparing to move on a packed agenda and fresh off a week-long recess home where they got a lot of feedback from constituents, facing some anger over President Trump's policies, especially his promise to scrap and replace the Affordable Care Act. The 89th Annual Academy Awards are now in the history books. Actors and actresses dressed to the nines and descended on Los Angeles to learn who would get the coveted golden statue. But along with this year's crop of winners, the headline of the Oscars 2017 is definitely the mix-up that happened during the Best Picture announcement. Kristen Holmes has that story.
Come on. La La Land.
We lost, by the way, but, you know.
A stunning and unprecedented Oscar night flub over the most important award of the evening.
Moonlight.
La La Land mistakenly announced as Best Picture, even though the winner was Moonlight, causing confusion on stage where the La La Land team was already accepting the award. Oscars overseer PricewaterhouseCoopers releasing a statement and promising an investigation. But La La Land wasn't left in the cold, Emma Stone winning Best Actress for her role in the film, and Damien Chazelle for Best Director. At 32, he's the youngest Best Director winner in history. Best Actor went to Casey Affleck for his role in Manchester by the Sea. After outrage over the lack of diversity in Academy Awards in past years, this year's ceremony celebrating it. Viola Davis winning Best Supporting Actress for her role in Fences, making her the first African American to win an Oscar, Emmy, and Tony for acting roles.
This is sort of like the miracle of God, of dreaming big and just hoping that it sticks.
And of course, amid the pomp, there was also politics. Host Jimmy Kimmel taking jabs at President Trump. At one point, even tweeting him. In Los Angeles, I'm Kristen Holmes.
Let's take a look at the eye on the economy, keeping our eye on the economy. According to the numbers, we can see the Dow up 15, NASDAQ 16, S&P 500 up 2. Coming up on News 2, what you need to know. We'll have the latest on the WAPA interruptions. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Members of the 32nd Legislature convened on Friday for a committee on health, hospitals, and human services, and they met at the Otley Legislative Hall to discuss the current financial challenges of the Schneider Regional Medical Center, chaired by Senator Narida Rivera O'Reilly. Schneider Regional Medical Center's executive leadership team and medical staff, they outlined their challenges with a comprehensive breakdown of their overall costs, shortfalls, and initiatives over the last several years. Schneider Regional's operating deficit over the past 6 years averages $37,877 per year in losses before government appropriations and $9 million per year after government appropriations and capital contributions. Wheatley concluded his testimony requesting further consideration to increase the organization's budgetary allotments to offset its operating loss and to fund depreciation. Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority was forced to implement small-scale rotating service interruptions in the St. Thomas-St. John district on Friday and Saturday night as the Randolph Holly Power Plant on St. Thomas continues to be challenged by the lack of adequate generation capacity to meet an increase in demand for electrical service. WAPA has implemented small-scale rotating power interruptions this afternoon into this evening. In the meantime, plant personnel continue to make repairs to a transformer component associated with Unit 23. It is anticipated that the Unit 23, the district's largest generator, will be brought online this evening, ending the need for continued rotating service interruptions. Here's the latest.
The Water and Power Authority is implementing a small-scale rotating power interruption this afternoon into this evening. A service interruption is being experienced presently on a portion of 3 feeders, feeders 7A, 7B, and 8B. The affected areas include Solberg to Four Corners and the St. Peter Mountain Road area, as well as a portion of Estate Thomas and a portion of Estate Peterborg. In the meantime, plant personnel are continuing to make repairs to a transformer component that's associated with our largest generating unit, Unit 23. It's anticipated that this generator will be brought back online late Monday evening, ending the need for continued rotating service interruptions in the Island District. At the present time, 3 units are online, 14, 15, and 25. However, the combined output of those 3 units do not provide adequate capacity to meet the demand for electrical service. As you may know by now, earlier this morning, a little after 12:30, the St. Thomas-St. John district experienced a 3-hour island-wide service interruption when that faulty transformer on Unit 23 caused the generator to trip offline. The trip of Unit 23 at that time also caused 2 other units, 25 and 15, to fall offline, leading to a complete loss of generation capacity at the power plant. Service was fully restored with Units 14, 15, and 25.
And that was the latest report as of 5:30 this evening. Spectators and participants lined the street in downtown Christiansted yesterday to view the Dominican Parade celebration, the culture of Virgin Islanders that's heritage stems from the Dominican Republic. Participants in the parade range from cultural dancers, crowned royalty, majorettes, floats, mukajumbis, jeep and car caravans, as well as school entries. Viewers danced along the street to an array of Latin music. The Dominican Parade has become a favorite event to attend for the residents of St. Croix, and the parade showcases the multicultural makeup of people residing in the territory. That's just a little taste if you missed it. Over 75 university-bound students and parents got a taste of UVI on Saturday, February 27th. They met face-to-face with Provost Camille McHale, Registrar Manifa Potter, and representatives from Admissions, Financial Aid, Center for Student Success, Residential Life, Athletics, and others. They discussed the merits of attaining higher education, the benefits of attending UVI, and learned of the many special programs offered there, such as the Boston Medical Program. 3-2 engineering program, dual degree program, national student exchange, dual enrollment, study abroad, summer bridge program, math behind the science, and more. Congrats to the students. It was a great learning experience there for them. Miss Ivana Udorcan High School pageant, that was held on Saturday, and you may remember we introduced you to the young ladies last week. And how did they do? Well, the winner is 2017 Miss Ivana Udorcan High School is contestant number 2, Janique Francis. She also won cooperative, swimwear, Ken Couture, talent, and evening wear. Miss Photogenic was contestant number 3, Miss Congeniality, contestant number 4, and Miss Popularity, contestant number 3, Intellect, number 4. First runner-up was also number 4. Congrats to all of the young ladies on a fabulous performance. A St. Croix North Shore tradition, the Crew de Croix. They held the 15th annual Mardi Croix Parade on Saturday at Cane Bay Beach, created by Tom and Dory Tibley back in 2003. The Mardi Gras type celebration has woven itself into the fabric of St. Croix. The party began Friday night at Cane Bay Beach with fire dancers and a fireworks show. On Saturday, Cane Bay Beach was packed as thousands of revelers paraded down the street. There was plenty of vendors selling food, jewelry, and much, much more. As the day continued, colorful costumes dominated the scene. This year's theme was In the Jungle. When it was over, third place went to the Lost Dog Pub. Second place winner was UMB. First place was Bengoa Automotive and Good Day Towing. And the best overall was Coconut Kids. Congrats. The Herman E. Golf Course at UVI will be abuzz with food, fun, and fellowship. And put this on your calendar. That's on Sunday, March 19th, 2017, as the community gathers for the 28th annual Afternoon on the Green. The theme for this year's event, which will be open to the public from noon to 5 p.m., is a centennial celebration of delicacies. It's the largest taste event in the territory, which attracts over 3,500 people annually. The Afternoon on the Green features food cooked by some of the best chefs on the island, live entertainment, family fun consisting of bounce houses, face painting, balloon animals and games, and friendly competition for the best food in a variety of categories. Innovative Choice Wireless VI Open Tennis Tournament, known as the Wimbledon of the Caribbean and hosted by the St. Thomas Yacht Club, is taking place February 27th to March 5th. Players can compete in a total of 13 divisions in this USTA-sanctioned tournament, the only tennis tournament in the USVI sanctioned by the USTA's Caribbean District. There are 2 open divisions for men's singles and doubles. In the B divisions, there are men's and women's singles, NTRP rating 4.0 and under, and 3.0 and under. Men's, women's, and mixed doubles, NTRP rating 6.0 combined and 8.0 combined, and men's doubles for players aged 60+ years. Be sure to go out and support. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Welcome back. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Julia Wyden, and I'm checking in on the forecasts for the next several days. We're going to be seeing occasional passing showers thanks to that trade wind flow that's really going to be tearing through over these next few days. You can already make out these clusters of clouds that we have. Those are going to provide those showers. The thing here, though, is that since the trade winds are really just roaring, they're going to only provide brief showers. So it'll be that situation where you get that passing downpour, it clears up, and then not too long afterwards, you get another passing shower. So maybe you want to have the umbrella handy. Now, looking at the satellite imagery here, again, you really don't see a whole lot happening at the moment, but we are talking about potential for showers in spots over these next few days. Tonight's forecast calls for temps in the mid-70s, patchy cloud cover. For tomorrow in St. John, 84 degrees, and again, a trade wind shower or two. That's going to be the dominant theme all around the island. St. Thomas, 84 degrees with a passing shower. We'll also see similar conditions in St. Croix with that high again at 84 degrees. Those temps pretty typical for this time of year. All right, let's talk waves, because when we have those roaring winds, we wind up with some high waves in the Atlantic side. Waves at 5 to 7 feet. The winds out of the east up to 20 knots. We have a small craft advisory in effect tonight, and that is going to last through Wednesday. Same small craft advisory in effect on the Caribbean side as well. The waves at 5 to 7 feet and the winds up to 20 knots out of the east. Let's take a look at that extended forecast. We're going to see temperatures in the mid-80s for the next several days. A shower in spots pretty much every single day. Will be breezy as we head into the weekend. Again, no major changes in this forecast. Overnight low temps will be in the low to mid 70s. All right, Sandy, sending it back to you.
Thank you. Time for our News 2 weather picture there by Jasmine Jackson of Ricardo Richards Elementary School. And Jasmine, looks like Jasmine had a wonderful weekend there with some sunshine and outdoor fun. Thank you for that, Jasmine. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen. Be sure to include all the details that we need and then tune in, because you never know when it's going to run, to see it right here on News 2. That is all for now. Thank you for watching. I'm Sandra Guman saying have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.